Welcome back, Bulls Nation. Today's video is going to be packed with everything you need to know about the major trade rumors surrounding two of the Chicago Bulls' key players, Lonzo Ball and Nikola Vucevic. The Chicago Bulls have been a team full of potential but also frustration over the past few seasons. After making bold moves in the offseason by trading for Nikola Vucevic in 2021 and signing DeMar DeRozan, the front office was hoping to create a contender in the Eastern Conference, pairing these new stars with the explosive talent of Zach LaVine. However, the reality has been far more complicated. Despite the star power, the Bulls have struggled to reach the level of consistency needed to be a true title contender. The team is stuck somewhere in the middle, not a bottom-tier team, but not quite a championship contender either. What's even more concerning is that key pieces of this roster have been unavailable for long stretches, like Lonzo Ball. Ball was a key acquisition, expected to provide much-needed defense, playmaking, and shooting to round out the roster. He was a perfect fit next to LaVine and DeRozan, a versatile guard who could space the floor, play defense, and set up the offense with his court vision. But after his knee injury in 2022, which led to multiple surgeries, his return to the court has been an ongoing mystery. Lonzo's absence has left a gaping hole in the Bulls' backcourt. He was expected to be the point guard of the future for Chicago, and without him, the Bulls have been forced to rely on inconsistent play from other guards, leading to more questions about the team's direction. With Lonzo still out indefinitely and his future with the team uncertain, trade rumors surrounding him have intensified. As of now, no one really knows when or if Lonzo will return to his former level of play. And that uncertainty is exactly why the Bulls might consider moving him before the trade deadline. The question on everyone's mind is, can the Bulls find a suitor willing to take on that risk? A team would have to be willing to take a chance on a player whose knee issue could linger and derail his career. But if Lonzo does return to form, he could be a huge asset for any team in need of a versatile defender and floor spacer at the point guard position. Reports suggest that teams like the New York Knicks have shown interest in Lonzo in the past, and with the Knicks in search of a more consistent point guard to pair with Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett, Lonzo could be the perfect fit. The Knicks would benefit from his defense and shooting ability, while Lonzo could thrive in a system that emphasizes fast breaks and perimeter shooting. A trade to New York could give the Bulls back some young assets like Emmanuel Quickley or Obi Toppin, both of whom could immediately contribute to the team's rotation and offer some much-needed depth. But there's one major hurdle: Lonzo's health. A trade for him would be risky, and the Bulls would likely not get back equal value unless another team is willing to gamble on his recovery. For the Bulls, trading Lonzo could help them free up cap space and allow them to pivot to a future-focused direction, but it would also be a tough decision, given the long-term potential he once held. The other player generating a ton of trade buzz is Nikola Vucevic. Vucevic has been a reliable double-double machine since joining the Bulls from the Orlando Magic in 2021. He's proven to be a solid scoring big man who can stretch the floor with his three-point shooting and provide a strong presence on the boards. But despite his offensive skills, Vucevic has been criticized for his defensive shortcomings, and some analysts wonder if he's the right fit for a team with championship aspirations. The Bulls have struggled defensively, and Vucevic's lack of rim protection and ability to guard in space has been an issue, especially in matchups against more athletic teams. Vucevic's future with the Bulls is particularly uncertain because his contract is set to expire at the end of the season. This means the Bulls are faced with the decision of whether to re-sign him long-term or move him for future assets before he walks away for nothing. Given the current state of the team, the front office could be inclined to move him, especially if they aren't confident in their ability to make a deep playoff run this season. The big question surrounding Vucevic is whether his skills are worth the investment in the long term. He's still a capable scorer and rebounder, but does he complement the Bulls' core in a way that maximizes the team's potential? If the Bulls decide to move on from him, there are a few teams that might be interested. One team that has been linked to Vucevic is the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas has been in search of a reliable center to pair with their superstar, Luka Doncic. Vucevic could bring offensive firepower to the Mavs frontcourt, providing them with a big man who can score both inside and outside. His ability to space the floor and his high basketball IQ would complement Luka's playmaking skills. However, there is no guarantee that the Mavericks could offer a deal that satisfies the Bulls' needs, especially considering their cap situation and lack of depth in certain positions. Another team that could be a potential destination for Vucevic is the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors have a solid core of young talent in Pascal Siakam and Scotty Barnes, but have been missing that traditional big man to anchor their frontcourt. Vucevic could provide that presence, and his ability to stretch the floor could work well in Toronto's modern offensive scheme. In exchange, the Bulls could target younger assets or a combination of expiring contracts to give them some flexibility in the future. The Lakers, too, have been rumored to be interested in Vucevic. Although the Lakers have a complicated salary cap situation, they could potentially make a trade work by sending some of their veterans or expiring contracts to the Bulls. The Lakers need help in the frontcourt to support LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and Vucevic could provide the scoring punch and rebounding they're lacking. However, the Bulls may not be too keen on trading Vucevic to a rival contender, especially if they still have playoff hopes. The bigger question for the Bulls will be whether they want to make a major move this season or hold tight and see what they can accomplish with the current roster. If they're still in the playoff hunt, they might be hesitant to make a trade for Vucevic and risk disrupting the chemistry they've built. But if they fall further out of the playoff picture, they could look to cash in on his value and begin a rebuild or retool for the future. As for the potential trade scenarios for both Lonzo and Vucevic, it's clear that the Bulls have some tough decisions to make. If they trade Lonzo, they could open up some cap space and focus on building around their young stars like LaVine and DeRozan. But if they trade Vucevic, they could get back younger players or draft picks, setting them up for a brighter future. Either way, the Bulls are at a crossroads, and their decisions over the next few weeks could have a huge impact on the team's future direction. The reality is that both Lonzo Ball and Nikola Vucevic are talented players who bring unique skills to the table. But with the current state of the team and the uncertainty surrounding Lonzo's health and Vucevic's long-term fit, the Bulls are looking at making some big changes. So, what's next for the Chicago Bulls? Are they going to pull the trigger on a trade involving Lonzo Ball or Nikola Vucevic? Will they try to retool the roster for a playoff push, or are they planning to make a major shift for the future? Bulls fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think the team should do with Lonzo and Vucevic? Should they trade them, or should they give them another shot? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the latest Bulls rumors and analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.